Okay, so here's the thing. You have been feeling like you haven't really wanted to communicate, or that you have an inability to communicate. Something's caused a block around the communication with yourself and your siblings or cousins, yourself and your neighbors, your immediate environment, communicating with lack of clarity or not desiring to have communication with people that fall under those categories. Maybe you felt like your communication has not been succinct, or that there's been some error in your communication. Maybe you've been misunderstood by people. And maybe it's not your communication, maybe it's their ears. It isn't always the person who is speaking the words who fails to communicate effectively. Sometimes it is the listener. In fact, oftentimes I find that it is the listener that is more at fault to a communication breakdown, because listening is much harder than speaking. I believe that many of you have had tensions with siblings or cousins, tensions with neighbors or people that live in your area, in the close proximity of your home. Many of you have been facing technical difficulties. Many of you have had setbacks financially, setbacks in your career, setbacks in your relationships. The good news is these areas start to pick up a little bit and ease as we get into April 15th. You're kind of going to feel a shot in the arm. Maybe it is a time that you can reconcile with your brothers, sisters, work out difficulties, communicate more effectively, be heard in better ways, be understood versus misunderstood. The energies that I talk about, the difficulty with, siblings and cousins and neighbors and cars and unexpected expenses and setbacks financially, all of these situations have been impacted since January, so it's been a pretty long run. And this energy kind of piled on to other difficult aspects that Capricorns have been dealing with for many years has left you feeling barren, desolate, isolated, alone. Once you get to mid-April, you're going to see that there will be a shift, a nice shift, one that you can feel. And it will build as the months go on. From April 6th to about August 25th, you're going to have an emotional rest, emotional peace, emotional ease. The anxieties that have been keeping you awake at night, the emotional responses to negative forces that seem to be at work against you are relieved to some degree. There's a lifting of restrictions, a reevaluating of what's been holding you back and how you might move forward in new ways. You get to rest in peace while still living over the next few months. Some of you haven't been enjoying life. You haven't felt like you really want to connect with another person. Some of you feel like you want to connect but haven't had an opportunity. You might find that from the 9th of April through May 3rd, that you could have greater misunderstandings with partners or significant others or love relationships, children. There could be some miscommunication or things happening there that make you feel like you're stepping back into, the twilight zone, something that's happened before. Many of you have a loss of interest in activities or creative projects, lack of interest in your children or engaging with children, lack of interest in engaging in new love relationships. This is a transitory energy, and it will be transformed, and it's going to shift and it's going to change as you get to the end of the month. Once we get to the end of April, you're going to find this newfound exuberance around spending time with children or having a child or planning childbirth or bringing a child home. Maybe you adopt. Maybe you give birth. You're re-energized in your creative projects. Maybe you return to an old hobby that you used to do. You're very interested in love, sex, new relationships. And it's very possible at the end of this month into the beginning of next month that you could meet someone that really, really, really rattles the cage. There are going to be some things that come to a close around your career. This could be a close of a slow period of time. This could be a close to one group of clients to a new group of clients. This could be a shift from one job to another, from one position to another, from one company to another, from one industry to another, from one employer to another, from one group of employees to another group of employees, to a different group of colleagues, people that you work with and around. You could have an unexpected job opportunity come in or an unexpected project that's presented to you. Many of you will have a change in status, single to married, married to divorced. Many of you are going to become famous, seeking fame, being recognized, getting the accolade you deserve, feeling a level of stardom, public acclaim. Many of you finally feel recognized for what you're truly worth and what you truly put out. Many of you reach some new goals, some new heights that bring you a greater satisfaction around work and career. Maybe you've auditioned for parts in the past and didn't get them, and all of a sudden they come. There's a real nice energy that says it's time to step up to the plate and be ready for the presentation and the acceptance speech that comes after. Transformation comes around what you wear, how you do your hair, your weight, your diet, your physical fitness, your exercise program. What do you want to get rid of? What do you want to keep? What do you want to do? What do you want? How do you want to present? How do you want to be accepted? How do you want to be viewed? Do you want plastic surgery? Do you want bigger breast, smaller breast, larger derriere, smaller derriere? Do you want some elective plastic surgery? Want to get rid of the widow's peaks here? I like mine, but anyway, to each his own. You're reconsidering your diet and exercise. Do you still want to hold on to the same image or change things up? You are absolutely unwilling to buy into the opinions of others at this time. The transformation that you will feel over the next several months is transformation that comes from within versus the transformation that you've gone through that seems dealt to you at the hands of other people. You are now in the driver's seat and you have control of this transformation. And it is going to be several months, May, June, July, August, September, 5 months of feeling empowered, more empowered than you have in a very long time, and feeling sort of a release. It's like a pressure cooker. You've just been like more and more pressure, more and more pressure, more and more pressure. And as you get to April 15th, that pressure starts to dissipate. And as we move through the month of April, there's more and more dissipation. Every sign is going to get this dissipation in different areas of life, but yours is going to be in the way that you see yourself, present yourself, the way you feel about yourself, your confidence, your self-worth, the way others see you. There's a good energy here that brings empowerment into this aspect of your life. As I mentioned earlier, we move to the end of the month with new beginnings around adventures and fun, new beginnings around creative projects, new beginnings with children, new beginnings around love, procreation, sex. This can find many of you meeting someone that you really care for. You could meet someone on vacation or while you're participating in a great adventure. You're feeling passionate and you're feeling alive. And you haven't felt that way for a while. So I would take very, very good advantage of it.